There we go.
Why was it? You're in there so bad. I just had you smiling on the screen for like 20 seconds.
Horrific.
Yeah, it was horrific.
Couldn't think of anything worse. Other
Yeah.
than
Did you?
seeing you just holding a beer there.
Was that what
Just
happened?
like that. You can show your sponsorship now because we're recording finally.
Oh yeah, sorry. How many of these are we gonna go? Four, five?
Uh, Getting paid a grand total of nothing to do this by Peroni.
Yeah.
But hopefully,
But
in the future, when they see
yeah,
this back, they'll have to
they
they'll have
they
to
know.
pick up. Yeah.
They know, yeah. Or they could just send me a few free crates. I would mind that. I'll take that instead of money if that's on offer.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Yeah, yeah. Did you watch the game today, Joshua?
I watched more of the Brighton Leicester game actually.
Oh, really? I didn't actually manage to catch that. Actually, was it good?
Hell of a game. Hell of a,
Yeah.
but like the Amex Stadium, it's kind of like it's just like they're watching any other game, kind of thing. It's just like I don't know, Brighton
What are you
fans.
trying to say about their
Sorry,
fans?
Brighton fans, but like it's just a tepid atmosphere. That's what it seems like from watching it anyway, watching the from the TV. But yeah, it was a good game. I felt like Brighton won that game like twice over. In the space of one game, Brighton won that game twice, and Leicester lost it twice. They Yeah, Leicester started off. They scored in under like a minute.
Yeah,
He started with Iheanacho and Daka instead of Vardy, and
interesting.
I thought it was interesting. Yeah, I thought actually it's pretty good move. Just thinking about because Vardy was off form and stuff anyway.
Yeah,
So we started with them, and I think one of them assisted the other, and they scored under 60 seconds. Thought okay, could be a big turnaround for Leicester, and then within 5-10 minutes, Brighton had scored, and then another 5 minutes go by, Brighton score again, and
yeah,
it was like they had control of the game completely and utterly. They were like in like second gear. Brighton were just complete control of the game, and then one ball over the top comes on to 2-2. Then one ball over the top from Tielemans, and I think Daka scores for 2-2, like completely undeserved. And then goes into half time 2-2. Like, and again, when the second half starts, Brighton just come in and they just completely dominate the game again, and they end up winning 5-2. So that's what I kind of mean by they won it twice, right? Which is just mate, amazing from Brighton, but just so woeful from Leicester. You know what I mean? Woeful.
I think, yeah, I think they lost five in a row now after that, haven't they? So that's a bit of a bad one, and it's not like they're playing exactly top form teams with that either. So, um, it's not looking really good. But I think, in terms of transfer market activity, they haven't really bought anyone, have they? Really? Obviously, I think Tielemans obviously wanted to go. Obviously that's not happened. I think Madison wants to go. Obviously that's not happened. Vardy's obviously getting older. So it's
Yeah,
probably not clicking at the minute for him. But I think in terms of Brendan Rodgers as well, I think he obviously, with what he's saying in the press and stuff like that, I think he's very unhappy as well. So I think he's it's an awful thing to say, but I think he's sort of not wanting to leave without his sort of pay packet of actually getting sacked.
mm,
To be
yeah,
honest, I think he's looking at, well, if I get sacked, I'm going to get an extra 10 million. Whereas if I leave, I'm not going to get nothing. So I think that's what the situation there is really. And obviously the owners are saying because of FFP, they're not willing really to spend much money. Um, so I don't really see what's going to happen because they're with a manager now that doesn't really seem to be bothered.
mm-hmm.
The players don't really seem that bothered. The
You can
owner
tell.
obviously is
Yeah,
not gonna. I don't know in terms of FFP if he paid that off, how that contributes to FFP. I imagine it does somehow. So is he willing to pay him off 5-10 million to sack him?
yeah,
I don't know. So
yeah.
I don't know where it leaves Leicester. Really, it's a bit of a bad one.
Yeah, you almost feel like, yeah, they do need some kind of like freshness, as in maybe a new manager that would be, obviously they haven't been able to get any freshness in the transfer market. Well, that one player, but yeah. And yeah, you just kind of think that, well, when things aren't going right, teams generally sack the manager, and that seems to work for a lot of clubs, just to get that like new freshness, new ideas in. And you could see it today, like on their faces, like just so dejected. Like, as in Madison, that was like one of the worst games I've seen him play, and at the end he was just sat on the floor. Tielemans, he got subbed off around 70 minutes, and he was yeah, you could just tell on his face, like it was like, like you said, it just didn't look like he wanted to be there. And yeah, as in, it's just complete stark contrast to Brighton, for example.
Yeah,
who were like phenomenal. Like they didn't get flustered by Leicester scoring early. They didn't get flustered when Leicester brought it back 2-2. They just kept on playing their football, and it was just so consistent. Like Brighton are such a consistent team. They don't seem to get too carried away when they're up. They don't seem to get too down when they're down. I just rate Potter. Like I think he's got complete control of the club in a sense. Like, and he makes the calls. They've given him that autonomy. And yeah, love it. But yeah, so I watched more of that game. Did you watch the one?
I did. I did watch United. Yeah, just to get back. There was 2 Swansea managers involved with the Brighton and Leicester game. Just thought I'd put that out there.
Oh right, yeah. Why are you mentioning that?
Big up the Swans.
Big up the Swans. Oh yeah, okay. In case anyone didn't get it from your distinct Welsh accent.
Yeah.
Swans Jack.
Yeah. I think the Arsenal game, man, like as well. I think it was really weird. I think it's a weird thing to say, but I thought Arsenal played really well. And they obviously lost 3-1, which is a bit of a weird one, really. But I think Arteta got badly wrong with the subs he brought on later on in the game. It was like, I think second half they really, really pushed Man United, where I thought sort of they were going to come back and sort of win 2-3-1. But then obviously Man United broke, Rashford scored. I think it was the only attack of the second half up to that point they even had, Man United. But it was like they went 2-1 down. It was like they didn't have, or Arteta didn't believe that they could actually score again with the players they had on for some reason. So he made a triple substitution, which I found was bizarre. And the formation they then played, I didn't think even the players knew what sort of formation it was. It was just, they brought on Son Nikita and they were like, well, you're a striker, you just play up front somewhere with Jesus. I think they brought Vieira on. He's sort of like an attacking midfielder. You just support them somehow. But obviously, when you bring on all these players and you're bringing on sort of central midfielders off or these attacking players, there's going to be massive holes. And it was like 20 minutes to go and 4 minutes added on. So it was 24 minutes to go. It was 1 goal down. It was like it was sort of like a Champions League final where they were 2-1 down with 3 minutes left. It was like that sort of bizarre substitution. It wasn't even like maybe 1 or 2 subs. It was 3. Which when you're playing really well in that formation, you're getting chances, and then the other team just broke on you, and you're only 1 goal down with 25 minutes left. I thought it was really bizarre. And then obviously once he did do that, sort of they didn't really come back from it. Even with those chances, I can't remember really having a clear cut chance after that. And then obviously Ten Hag, I think, with his subs, I think within half an hour he brought on Ronaldo, but then he brought on sort of Fred to just nick the balls in good areas, cause fouls in good areas. Then what made me laugh was I think 10 minutes ago he brought on Maguire. And within, it must have been about 20 seconds, booked straight away.
God, I love it.
It's just,
that's what he's on for. That's what he's on.
Just first 20 seconds, he is a 1-on-1 against Jesus, and Jesus just knocked it past him, and he literally just brought him down. But yeah, it's just Maguire.
Right thing to do, though,
it just made me laugh because obviously he's not been having a good few years, but yeah, I thought he was just typical. It's just one of those where it's just Maguire in it. That literally, that is it. That
Why?
what do you expect from him, Maguire?
Love Maguire.
And like, and like there was he was on for I think it was like 5-10 minutes tops. I can't remember him actually touching the ball. I can't remember heading the ball. All I can remember from the game was he fouled Jesus, got a yellow card, and then he needed to give away a penalty with like a clumsy challenge in the box. And he's on for like 10 minutes.
I did see him get the ball. I did see him get the ball, make a couple of pass back to De Gea, I think. He's gone on to do a job though. You can't fault him.
Can't fault him.
Oh mate, Maguire gets so much shit, doesn't he? Maguire gets.
You can't fault him.
Can't fault him, mate. Won the game. Sort it out.
Yeah, won the game for them.
But like what you were saying about Arsenal earlier and stuff. They played really really well from what I saw.
Yeah.
It's almost like United were just a bit more street smart.
100%.
Yeah, kind of Arteta bringing on Vieira, which is I don't think Vieira's played.
I don't think he has. No, I can't remember him playing. He definitely hasn't started the game. 100%. So
yeah, you're bringing him on in a game that you're losing.
Yeah, and you're bringing Odegaard off as well.
Yeah, it's just an odd one. Because you keep Odegaard on, and he can always do something. He can always just make that key pass, and he was pressing really well from what I saw, and putting them under pressure. The later things get on, just obviously players get a feel for the game as time goes on, and then like perhaps there would have been more opportunity if Odegaard stayed on.
I think what I would have done, I just thought it was bringing three of them on at the same time. I think was the mistake. I think maybe he should have brought one on, so maybe Vieira on or Nikita, just one of them to see how that would affect the game. And then maybe if he didn't have that effect, maybe then bring him on 5 minutes later. So you had like 15 minutes, if that makes sense, instead of just trying to sort of all three of you go on. Because if you think about it, that's what just under 30% of the team if you don't include the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
So it's a big jump to you got 10 outfield players and you show up in 3 rounds.
I guess what you might have been trying to think about, like just that freshness, that energy, and just like if you bring 3 on at a time, then maybe in his mind that was like, oh yeah, just a big burst of like energy. Maybe United would struggle to cope. But then I mean, like just the game awareness, the nous of like players like Odegaard, and who else came off? Was it Xhaka or Zinchenko maybe?
I think so. I'm not sure who it was. Yeah.
Yeah, just
it'll be one of those most experienced boys anyway.
Yeah, I think it might have been Zinchenko as one of them. So Zinchenko and Odegaard off, two quality players, and as much as Zinchenko's coming back from injury, maybe Odegaard
could be
from injury as well.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's a good point. To be fair, yeah.
And to be fair though, what I would say as well is Vieira came on and he was I was quite impressed with him actually.
Yeah.
He did make a difference. Yeah, I think he had 2 or 3 shots. At goal as well. He obviously wasn't scared. He took a man on, did a few nice touches, nice through ball. So I think he was actually really good when he came on, to be fair. I just thought taking Odegaard off was a bit of I don't know. I just thought he was playing well at them and he was finding gaps, he was finding space. I think with Vieira and him on, I think they'd maybe more of a chance. So yeah, interesting.
Yeah, did they have any midweek games coming up or whatever? Maybe that's why they're just looking to.
I think just freshness, like you say.
Yeah, good game. And in terms of FPL, it was I was very pleased. I've got to say.
I'm not surprised. Nice bloody Tony hat-trick.
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking Arsenal game. I put 3 Arsenal players on my bench, and
old move.
They got a total of 4 or 5 points, I think. Yeah, so very bold, but it worked out for me.
Very bold. Yeah. I'd obviously bloody
love it.
Do you have any Man Utd players?
No,
I don't either.
No,
I think maybe we missed a trick.
Pun does that.
I think we missed a trick there. But then who
Kun's got
For me, who
Dallo.
would you?
Dallo's done well for him.
Yeah, Darlow's done. The only thing with him is, he's probably going to get booked.
You
That's
reckon?
the only thing. Yeah, I think he's had like 4 yellow cards this season already.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I know he's had at least 3. I'm not sure if he's booked again today.
Last 2 games before this one, he got clean sheets.
Yeah, that's the only
And he was in
thing.
bonus. He got like 3 bonus
Yeah,
last game.
and I'm guessing he will pick up an assist on there, at some point as well. I think. I think he's had one yet, but I can see it coming.
Yeah, he has had one. He had one against Southampton when Bruno Fernandes volleyed it into the goal.
Yeah, that was the one. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I think Darlow could be a good one to have. I think Fernandez, would he be? I'm not sure. Anthony again. I haven't even had a look at his value is on FPL yet. Have you had a look? Do you know?
I can't say for sure. It might be 7 mil.
Yeah, I think maybe he could be a good one just because he's going to play nearly every week. Because obviously Ten Hag's brought him in. Ten Hag knows how he plays and everything. So I'd like to think he's going to get chances like today, etc. So I think that could be maybe a cheeky little good one there.
Surprised he started today.
Yeah, and I was, and he scored.
But yeah, as you say, it just shows that he's trusted straight away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so I think he's good. I think I really like I can't remember his name. Man United's new left back. What's his name?
Oh, Malacia.
Yeah, I think that's him, is it? Yeah. I don't think he's gonna get many points because I don't think Man United are gonna keep many clean sheets. And I don't think
I don't know.
I don't think he's gonna be in with the assists that much in terms of I think because they're playing like a 4, he's gonna be a left back more or less. But yeah, I really like him. I think he's a really good find. I think they only paid something like 12 or 15 million for him as well. In today's money, that's literally pennies, isn't it? So I think I think Shaw is going to find it really difficult to get into this team now.
Yeah.
And then that puts him at sort of, November coming up in terms of the World Cup. Same as Maguire. What's going to happen with him if he's not starting for Man United? Is he going to play for England?
Yeah, good point. Yeah, really good point.
Also, if he's not, are they going to play a back 3? A back 5? Or if England are going to play a back 5, who's the 3 centre backs that's going to play?
You got the international break coming up as well, so we'll get a good idea of players whether England are going to play with the same back 5 or whether they're going to pick players like Maguire.
It'll be interesting if they're picking players that aren't playing.
Yeah, Maguire and Shaw. Obviously, I don't think Shaw will get into it. I think Maguire could. But only because he's a favourite of Southgate's and he's played some games. He's played some games.
Yeah, he's got experience, hasn't he? He's at a big club. He's captain.
Yeah. Whereas, Shaw's got I think more competition as well for the England spots.
Yeah, 100%.
Maybe than Maguire does at centre back. And
I think
Shaw's not played hardly anything.
Yeah, I was going to say I think I totally agree because didn't he play Trippier as left back a lot of the time as well, Southgate?
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously he's playing every week for Newcastle as well now. So
and that's
without brilliant. But then the thing is with him, he brings not only that he's sort of a left back and right back, so he's quite diverse in terms of position he plays. You've also got then a fantastic set piece player as well, which is invaluable in World Cups.
Invaluable.
It is indeed, especially when England haven't really got fantastic set pieces. I'd say. So they got Trent, maybe who's quite decent. Trippier.
You got Mount, Reece James.
Would you say they're? If you look at set pieces, would you say? I'm not sure about that. If you look at set pieces,
I think Trippier would be the one over them, though.
Yeah, I agree.
He's got to go. Trippier has to go to the World
Cup. Yeah, same. But no, so who was your big player in the FPL this week? Then I'm assuming it was Tony.
Just before that, I just checked out Anthony's price. He's 7.5.
Yeah, and where does that compare then to the others? If you're thinking about sort of strikers in terms of top teams, how much do they go
7.5
for?
is the same as what Sancho started on, so he might be 0.1 or 0.1 less or something.
Yeah,
more or less. 7.5 is also Gundogan.
I think that's a really good price then.
I think it is. Yeah, I think he's about right.
Yeah,
For him. He's classed as a midfielder, which is kind of expected. Yeah, I mean, just time will tell, I guess. He does look to be favourite to start on that right wing, and then Sancho on the left, Rashford on top. Who are we missing? Like, I mean, obviously Ronaldo.
You got Martial, but he's injured.
Martial's injured. Elanga is, yeah, I mean, his place is
Yeah.
going to be taken now, probably.
Yes, yeah. I think he's a decent price for that. Considering you're talking, when you see, how many goals do you think he's going to get? 10, 15 maybe? At a push?
Yeah, I think he'd do well if he got 10. Yeah, I think he'd do well.
Yeah. So who's going to be 7 mil that gets 10 goals?
Yeah, good point. Yeah. I think I like Sinistera. So
Yeah.
Two starts,
You
two
can't
goals.
stop talking about him, can you?
I love him, mate. I absolutely love him. And he's cheap as well. He's 6.5.
Yeah, that's a good buy.
He's gonna go up in price as well.
Yeah.
I need to find out what websites like show, because there's websites that show the price predictions. So whether
Right,
something's going
okay.
to go up or down in prices.
Yeah.
I think that would be good to just share with people as well.
Yeah, I think so as well. I think it'd be good if we get some sort of graphics on in terms of think about players who we might be adding in, look at their fixtures, look at their form, stuff like that.
I can do a screen share right now and
Yeah.
to show like my FPL team.
Go for it. We'll talk through how bad that is.
I'll get the points set for this week.
While Josh does this, just a little advertisement break for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you see?
I can't. Oh, yeah, it's just working now. Yeah.
Cool. So
Perfect.
65 points for the week for me. Yeah, that's the team. So that's just beautiful at the bottom, isn't it? You don't want to see, that's what you want to see.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. So very, very balanced team for me at the moment. So like literally any of my players can start. And it all depends on the week and the fixture for me at the moment. And that's purely come about because I feel like the premium players are not like justifying their price.
Yeah, so, I totally agree from experience, like right now.
Yeah, like I think that could change at different points in the season. Don't get me wrong. So it's just about adapting as I go through. The only thing with this, obviously, is picking the starting 11 every week does become a bit of a headache.
Yeah, because you're not sure who's going to start, who's going to play.
I'm not sure who's going to do well, basically, because all of my team are first team players. They'll usually anyway. So then it's about, well, who do I think is going to play best in the fixture?
Yeah.
So I do it like put in. I was right up until deadline for this week, and I was like, I only just subbed Martinelli off for Trippier, and like a minute to go before deadline. So I was obviously pleased with that, but it just showed to me like how indecisive I was about it all, and but obviously worked out for me this week, and to do this kind of strategy, I watch a lot of football, and I do pick apart the games, and I'll just get a feel for what players are on form and stuff, and like I would say if a person's to go about this kind of strategy, then yeah, you just kind of be sure on the players that you're going for, really.
So you're saying you went up to the deadline then? So what made you put Martinelli in the bench then? What was it? Just sort of instinct? Was it just thought? Was it looking at form? Was it looking at who they're playing?
It's a mixture. It's a big mixture of stuff. I just you know what? It's funny, right? I didn't make a transfer up until like 5 minutes before as well. So I made a transfer 5 minutes before, and then I chose to select a player to go in. So
Okay.
the transfer I made was I brought in Trippier,
Yeah.
and I brought him in for Perisic, right? So Perisic. I was always going to do a Perisic out. It was just between James or Trippier. And when I'm genuinely 50-50, I couldn't call it. As in, I thought both had similar fixtures: Chelsea versus West Ham, Trippier versus um, uh, Newcastle versus Crystal Palace. Similar fixtures, both at home, both with good potential for set pieces. And I end up, when I'm genuinely 50-50 on something like that, I end up asking Ashley, my girlfriend. I just because it's like flipping a coin. So I just tell her the names. I'm just like, James or Trippier. So she just said, "Oh well, James is boring," and I was just like, the
Okay.
name she was thinking, right? Like James, the name is just boring. Apparently, sorry to any James people called James. Any James is out there, but yeah. So I just went with Trippier, and when I asked her who to pick for captain last week,
Yeah.
when Haaland got his hat trick, it was between Haaland or for me, it was between Haaland and Jesus.
Okay.
And she was like, Haaland, in a heartbeat, it was Haaland. So I was just like, she got me the hat trick.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting that's interesting because obviously that was your captain choice.
Mm.
Yet Jesus didn't even start for you.
That was last week. So yeah.
Oh, last week. Sorry.
So yeah, Haaland got the hat trick last week. And yeah, it was, yeah, it worked
Yeah.
out.
I'm glad it's working out for you.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, I get to points. It's a lot of kind of research, a lot of research up until, and just kind of, I say research, like I'm watching players like a hawk, I'm on Match of the Day, I'm on like Reddit highlight videos, and I'm kind of just like seeing how the players, like the player as an individual is playing, and then seeing how the team is playing as well. So those are the two kind of main aspects I look at: the form of the player, the form of the team. And
Yeah.
then I end up getting to a point where I'm so divided on
Yeah.
like I know I should be
I agree.
picking James or Trippier. It's one of the two. I've got to transfer in James or Trippier. And I just I just don't know. So that's why I end up asking. I asked Ashley. Last season, I
Nice.
asked Ashley a few times. I went against what she
Oh,
suggested anyway,
yeah.
and it came back to bite me. So yeah,
Wow.
I've just gone for it this time. If there's a genuine 50-50, So yeah,
Yeah.
that's just the way it's gone for me. Yeah.
No, yeah, I
How's
quite
your
like
team
it.
looking anyway?
Yeah, I can share mine if you want. I've got it, yeah.
Yeah. I think we've got
Um,
7 minutes left on this call. So yeah, we'll have to
yeah,
do another call at some point. But yeah,
yeah, no worries.
I'll try and get you to on a screen share. Can you share your screen?
Uh, no, apparently you've disabled participant screen sharing.
Go on, give it a go. I'm
You're clearly not letting me do it. There you go,
oh,
got it.
there you go.
Can you see it?
Yes, I can see it.
I got I'll just leave it off a minute. Yeah, so obviously not a great week, 44 points. So yeah.
Average is 39. So
Yes, I think it's been a low week for a lot of people, hasn't it? So I think it's been a bit difficult week. Obviously higher than average, but I expect to be at the top. But obviously that's not happening at the minute. I've done a lot of transfers as well the last few weeks. I think I've done something like 7 transfers in the last 2 weeks. I did 3 for this week, and then I think I did 4 or 5 last week. So my team's changing a lot.
Mhm.
I just can't seem to. I look at these players and I think, wow, how many assists did Trent do last year, for example?
Yeah.
How good is Diaz? Haaland, Odegaard. I think since I've had him, he's given me about 4 points. I think he had 2 last week. Jesus, he's been good for me. Haaland, he's been good for me, but obviously, when I choose him as captain, he doesn't play. When I do choose him captain, then he doesn't play. When I don't, he obviously scores hat tricks. Like I brought in De Bruyne last week. I captained him last week. He didn't even play the game. He didn't start at all, so I was let down. Cucurella, I thought he was going to be really good for Chelsea, really good for Brighton last year. Likes to go forward, especially in the back five of the Chelsea are going to play. He just keeps on bloody picking up yellow cards every week,
Mhm.
which really lets me down then, which is really annoying. I think he's had an assist or even a goal yet. So I think he might be someone I might pull out. Perisic, he didn't start either. So it's like I don't know. I'm fighting a battle here. Obviously, Zinchenko bench, but he only had a point, so it didn't really matter. But looking at that back four, 1-1-8-1, that is really disappointing when you think of the players you got there. Um, Jesus, Haaland, Odegaard, and Diaz, and they've picked up between Odegaard, Jesus, and Diaz, they picked up 6 points. When you're looking at that, I'm just looking at it. I'm like, how is that? You're telling me Trippier has scored 2 more points in that week than 3 of them put together, which just doesn't make no sense at all. So yeah, I think I might just go back to your tactics. I think I might just take a blow. I've used my wild card. I've used my triple captain. Thanks, Haaland, for that when you had 2 touches all game on that when I used you. Thanks, cheers for that. Really appreciate that. I think I'm just going to have to bite in, just use points to get someone in. Oh, sorry, my cat has just come in. Meowing. Brilliant. Come on, Oreo. So yeah, I don't know what to do. I think I might pull. I don't know. The thing I've got issue is when I pull a player out, they seem to do well the next week, or if I keep them in, they just have
That's
so many
FPL.
bad weeks, and then as soon as I pull them out, they're good again.
That
So I
is
don't know whether
FPL,
just
mate.
to stick this out now, for the next 2 or 3 weeks and see what happens. I think with Trent and Diaz, surely Liverpool have to start performing well. Every game they've had has been quite poor so far, and I'm thinking, how long is this going to go on for? If you're looking back at the stats from last year, how many assists and goals did Trent have? In terms of his, what was it? Like an average thing. He needs to have some good games coming up soon. He's even getting, benched off. Robertson's the exact same. If you go Robertson, he's done hardly nothing this year compared to what he did last year. So I'm not sure if it's sort of, they won the league and stuff, and now they sort of, it's really hard, like we talked about, it's really hard to be successful again the year after. And, they're just going to have a sort of maybe a mediocre 3rd or 4th spot sort of thing. Or what? But yeah, I'm just really struggling. I mean, I'm even lost of ideas what to do, who to put in or anything.
Yeah, well, I think a lot of those teams like that you've got there are playing well. Like team form wise, you think about City, think about Newcastle, you think about Spurs, and Arsenal. Other than today, Arsenal should bounce back. You would think,
Yeah.
and then Chelsea are kind of an unknown, I would say, at the moment. I think it's just going to take a little bit longer for them to work, but I think it will come. So you think about the team form for your players, and
Yeah.
it's good. I'd say other than Liverpool, for me, I don't think Liverpool are playing that well, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think the Bournemouth game was a bit of a deceiving kind of game. I think it fooled a lot of people to think, oh yeah, they're back. It fooled me. I brought him
Yeah, I agree.
after Bournemouth. I brought him back in. I regretted taking him out. He scored 17 points against Bournemouth. I mean, that's that's the same as what Haaland got for his hat tricks. Like
Yeah,
17 points, and
exactly.
like Trent got a goal and an assist maybe, and he still got the same as obviously got a clean sheet, and he still got the same as a hat trick scorer. So I just thought bring him back in, but like since then, only one game. Obviously, no, two games, Newcastle and Everton, and
Yeah.
they didn't deserve anything from the
No,
Newcastle game.
no,
Maybe a point they possibly deserved. I thought Newcastle were very good, and that
they
was
were, yeah.
Newcastle's players. Some of their star players were out of that game,
Yeah.
and then the Everton game. I watched that. There was, Pickford played well, but
But
still, you expect Liverpool to get at least one. They
yeah,
didn't. It's a 0-0 draw. So, and Trent was poor in that game. He was poor.
really
Got
poor.
brought off 58 minutes, which is like a kick in the teeth for fantasy, obviously. But he was brought off because he wasn't playing well, in my opinion. Okay, they've got Champions League. He's gonna want to rest him for that, of course. But it's still early in the season, and you kind of think your best player